Britain is currently navigating through a difficult moment, one in which politics is no longer simply about dispassionate policy but rather a venue for heated disputes and real emotions. Imagine the following scenario: a former British Prime Minister such as Boris Johnson is admitted inside the renowned rotunda at a high-stakes inauguration in the United States, which is the hub of global power. Meanwhile, Nigel Farage, who has long prided himself on being a close buddy of Donald Trump, is just left standing outside. In the face of this unpleasant and ironic spectacle, we are compelled to inquire, who is actually appreciated, and why was Farage not included? The politics of the United Kingdom are just as dramatic as this event. If we look beyond it, an onslaught of criticism is being directed at Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, for his inconsistencies and proposals that are not practicable. Do you recall when he had promised a prosperous future? In place of this hope, claims have been made that actions have been made that have damaged the same working class that Labour had previously pledged to safeguard, in spite of the fact that recent polls indicate that Labour is in the lead with 411 members in Parliament. Public discontent continues to increase. The trust of millions of residents has been destroyed as a result of controversial policies, such as high tax rates and inefficient handling of immigration. Another concerning indication is the diminishing presence of the United Kingdom on the global scene. In the past, the deal with the Chagos Islands was regarded as a chance to deepen ties with the United States. However, disagreements have arisen as a result of concerns regarding the growing influence of China in the region. Given that the conflict in Ukraine has upset Europe and that the Middle East is plagued with uncertainty, is it possible for Keir Starmer's ineffective leadership to successfully steer Britain past such formidable obstacles? The fact of the matter is that when we consider the startling number of 10,800 millionaires who left the United Kingdom in the span of a single year, we are unable to overlook the issue of what genuinely compelled them to go. Perhaps it is the policy of the Labour Party, or perhaps it is the residual effects of Brexit. I believe that the reason is not a single person or event, but rather a confluence of political decisions that are short-sighted and the repercussions of an economy that is becoming increasingly lopsided. A good place to begin is with Rachel Reeves's policies. There is more to it than just a number on a piece of paper when it comes to increasing the capital gains tax from 10% to 18%, or the highest rate to 24%. Those investors who formerly considered Britain to be a secure location for their valuables have suffered a direct damage to their trust as a result of this. But it's possible that Reeves isn't the only person who bears blame, despite the fact that Brexit has been behind us for years. It continues to create wide fractures in the economy. A comment that received widespread acceptance made the following pithy observation: because of Brexit, we have lost over £2 trillion from the stock market and 40,000 jobs in the financial sector. This is not only an indicator of economic collapse. Rather, it is an ongoing indication of instability. The upheaval that is occurring inside British politics is exemplified by this episode. In my opinion, Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, is in charge of a party that is in fourth place in terms of parliamentary seats but is completely devoid of any discernible direction. Critics, including myself, have pointed out that his policies have not only failed to serve the interests of the working people, but they have also further destroyed faith in a party that was once a champion of their cause. One of his critics is me. When compared to Boris, who was a former Prime Minister, Farage is an outsider, was the statement that I saw in a comment that was extremely incisive. Even more disheartening is the fact that Labour is not much better. They are excellent at making promises, but they never follow through on them. Let's take a minute, however, to think about things from a different point of view. Is it true that the departure of millionaires has the same negative impact as us, despite the fact that they have garnered huge benefits from the facilities and opportunities provided by Britain? These individuals continue to refuse to pay their fair bit to support society. According to some, let them depart if they do not wish to pay additional taxes in order to improve public services. As stated in a statement that is rather straightforward, those individuals who have a genuine concern for this nation will remain, despite the fact that it causes division. This viewpoint compels us to examine our preconceived notions regarding money, responsibility, and the contribution we make to society. A lack of coherence inside Labour and a hazy approach to foreign affairs are two things that worry me even more. Take, for instance, the deal over the Chagos Islands. This very moment had the potential to be a defining moment for Britain in terms of its worldwide status. It has, on the contrary, given rise to concerns over the expanding influence of China in this crucial area. that the indecisive attitude taken by Labour has weakened the trust of traditional friends such as the United States is a point that has been stated by many people, and they are entirely correct. The following statement struck me as particularly poignant: Labour may win seats, but they are losing their soul. With a party that only thinks in the short term and does not have a long-term vision, it is not possible to leave the future of Britain to that party. Now is the moment for us to pose some challenging questions, such as whether or not Labour is indeed the answer to some of Britain's issues. The belief held by some individuals is that they are little more than old wine in new bottles, as they do not provide any actual innovation beyond hollow promises. Nigel Farage may have been sidelined, but Labour's failure is something none of us can ignore, was the statement that I came across in another remark that struck a chord with me on a profound level. The breakdown of a political system that was once able to represent the people is the cause of this. Honestly, the Labour Party is at a pivotal juncture. However, the party is not the only thing that has to change. We, as citizens, need to re-evaluate how we see politics. How long should we continue to put our trust in a party that has constantly failed to live up to our expectations? Should we instead give serious consideration to a different course of action, one that prioritizes the genuine interests of the nation? In the course of today's conversations, I have high hopes that we will be able to start thinking about a solution together. Over the course of history, Britain has been the financial center of the globe, luring the affluent and multinational organizations to invest and expand their operations there. On the other hand, things have evolved. Iconic political decisions such as Brexit did more than just cut trade relations with Europe. They also undermined the basis of faith in Britain's capacity to continue to play a leadership role in the world. One comment that was well supported brought this point home perfectly. Leavers destroyed the economy and left us vulnerable to oligarchs and despotic regimes. It is not only a matter of opinion. Rather, it is a clear truth that is shared by a great number of observers. We are currently seeing a moment of uncertainty in terms of the economy, which includes rising prices, a labour market that is being stressed by inefficient immigration policies, and a noticeable lack of clarity in terms of long-term development initiatives. Not only does the Labour Party fail to give answers that are applicable to the situation at hand, but it has also put up plans that have caused significant controversy. Think about the planned tax increases that would have a direct impact on the working class as well as small companies, who are the driving force behind our economy. In response to a particularly sharp statement, I find myself in agreement with the following: they promise to help the working class, but they are the ones making life harder for them. Them go if they do not want to pay more taxes in order to improve public services. However, are we prepared to deal with the repercussions that this loss of such an important financial resource will bring? One of the most important issues that this highlights is that politics cannot rely entirely on ideology or feelings. The use of pragmatism and a concentration on long-term gains, as opposed to short-term appeasement, is required. The fact that I am not a supporter of the Labour Party makes it very obvious to me that the problem is not limited to Keir Starmer or any one particular policy. The issue rests inside a political system that is in need of fundamental transformation. It is a system that is begging for leaders who are willing to think differently, take action, and accept responsibility. Labour may win seats, but they haven't won trust, was a statement that really expressed this idea well. From this circumstance, I feel that this is the most important lesson that we should learn. We are unable to continue to put our confidence in campaigns that are symbolic or are based on bogus promises. An alternative course of action is required for the United Kingdom, one that upholds the fundamental principles of democracy, openness, and accountability. I want to leave you with a question: will we continue to tolerate stagnation, or is it time for us to rise up and demand genuine change? I want you to think about this until you leave. Those of you who are watching and listening are the ones who have the answer, in my opinion, since those who do not speak up are the ones who never bring about change. And so, as we deal with the difficulties that have been ingrained in British politics for a long time, I would want to leave you with one more message. It is not empty pledges or empty platitudes that will determine the destiny of our nation. Those of us who have the courage to stand up, inquire, and call for genuine change are the ones who do it. It is imperative that you make your opinion heard if you, like me, do not tolerate the ongoing mistakes made by Labour. You can help spread the word by liking this video and commenting on it. Regardless of whether you agree or disagree with the message, every perspective is an important component of the conversation that this nation so sorely needs. Please subscribe to my channel if you believe the information I've presented to be meaningful. This will allow us to continue our journey together, revealing the facts that are concealed behind the political curtain. Please do not hesitate to click the like button if you recognize the significance of the material presented here and feel that it should be shared with others. Not only does this demonstrate to me that the findings of my study are significant, but it also assists others in gaining these vital insights. First and foremost, I encourage you to click the subscribe button so that you may accompany me on this journey of analysis, discussion, and the exploration of deeper views on British politics. The future of our country is not exclusively in the hands of individuals who hold political office. Rather, it is in the hands of each and every one of us who are ready to stand up and take action for what is right. Even while we might not be able to make all of the necessary changes overnight, even the smallest of steps can lead to a more significant shift. Beginning today, let's work together to make a difference in the world. You can join me in challenging the existing quo, asking difficult questions, and demanding a better Britain for all of us by commenting, and subscribing to this channel.